Hey YouTube, this is our video about the GFX. I don't think we're going to go into too much detail. That's been done over and over again. It's more just our kind of experience using it. Our main focus for it was using it at a wedding.
So we're at today's wedding, and as we said in our previous videos, Fuji have given us a GFX to play with.
GFX, baby!
We're now going to do some group shots, so we thought we'd use the GFX to take some of those group shots, just to see what the resolution and how practical it is for that use.
Yeah, they gave us the 32 to 64mm, we asked for that, and we asked for the 110. This mainly for doing like the groups, a bit more wide shots, and when we do some of the old couple shots later. But yeah, we've got the lovely 110 as well, so that's f2. So that should be very nice. About a 90mm on full frame, that one, and this is about a 24 to 50mm on full frame. So we have a nice range. Yeah, hopefully we'll possibly pop another video on when we're doing shots with a couple of those.
They sent us the 110mm f2 and the 32 to 64mm f4. We asked for those because we thought they would be the best best lenses to give us both, so a wide and a kind of prime. And obviously testing the 110 at f2 was quite a narrow depth of field.
That was quite a new lens at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah. That
was a newly released lens. Lovely lens.
So yeah, I suppose talk about the wedding to begin with. That's the main focus. Yeah. So we got it delivered within 2 days, was it, or a day of the actual wedding itself, and we only had a couple of weeks with the camera. So what we wanted to do was try and get it early so we could then use it at the wedding, give us a chance to then look at the images and then try and use it again before, but just with work and life kind of got in the way, and we just...
2 babies.
Yeah. It was just hard to probably dedicate the time that we really needed to it. But at the wedding, I think our biggest feedback to give was it's difficult to use if your wedding work is quick.
Yeah.
We're kind of very documentary style these days, so we're just constantly on the go, and you know, we're capturing things as they happen, so we very rarely slow down enough to kind of set up shots.
I mean, we use XT2s obviously for our primary cameras, and for that sort of photography they're ideal, aren't they?
Oh yeah, we love the XT2,
yeah.
and we were using them side by side. But we set the couple up this time, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, we used it for some group shots.
Yeah.
And we used it for some couple sort of portrait shots. That is where we really tested it. Yeah. At this wedding. Obviously, we would like to have used it for other sort of parts of the wedding, but it just wasn't practical on that day, really. But
I think the reasons it weren't practical for us was it's a big camera.
Yeah.
It's a heavy camera, and I think my impressions of it's more studio-based camera.
Yes.
It's to really slow down and use, and I know people do use it at weddings, and I think if you could,
you need to be. It's more of a setup
yeah.
shot, isn't it?
It's the money shots. It's let's take an hour to get like 2 photographs kind of camera, and those photographs are going to be stunning. But the group shots were fine. We used the 32 to 64 for that at f4. Oh no, I think we were probably about an f8 or something.
You
like
probably
that.
closed it down a bit to f8. Yeah. It was a sunny day. It was sunny at the time, so there was good light.
But it's stunningly sharp. It's incredibly sharp, and you'll never get away from it being an amazing camera.
I mean, we will put some pictures up on the screen, and we'll probably get some pictures up in Lightroom and
show you the
sharpness
and things like that.
Now, although it is sharp, what we found is that when we were taking images, we were then going to the back of the camera and doing 100% zoom, and for some reason the images on the back of the camera didn't look sharp, did they?
Yeah,
they looked soft.
And I don't know whether it's because you're doing that so quickly as well. We were trying to get that immediate kind of, if we nailed it, especially shooting at f2 and 110mm, you know you've got it down. And we used it handheld all the time. Yeah. We never tripoded it.
No, I think that must be something to do with the resolution of the screen on the back of the camera. It obviously can't cope with 50 megapixels of medium format image, because when we put them on the computer, they were sharp.
Yeah.
But when you're taking those images, these are shots that you don't want to be soft, because they, you know, we're taking them for wedding clients. You want to be able to say, yes, they're sharp. But on the back of the screen, you couldn't 100% say, yes, that's sharp. However, the ones we did take when we got them on the computer, perfect.
Because we even tried to send a few to our phones and try to edit them while we were there when we had the break at the wedding. So I think the overall experience to say from it, amazing camera. Don't get me wrong, I'll have one tomorrow.
I'll have two.
Yeah. To fit them into our style of wedding photography, which is, like we say, it's fast paced. You know, we're not photographers that spend an hour to do one photograph. We're very much, let's go, let's, you know, we capture this, capture it as it goes. We do set people up to do some couple shots, but again, we're not very posy. We ask people just to embrace. We found it wasn't easily adaptable to use it, but given time, I should think that'd be a difference. But you know, £6,000 for a body just to give it time, that's quite an investment. We certainly have said that we wouldn't be investing in one yet, because there's a lot of money, and in our kind of workflow it doesn't quite fit at the moment.
No.
We're not doing a lot of commercial work at all, and that's where we think it'd probably sit better.
What we've found with our XT2s is, when we're doing couple shots, we like to shoot wide open. Obviously, we've got the 56 1.2, we've got the 90 f2.
Got the Mitacon at
you've got the Mitacon 0.95. So we love shooting wide open to get that lovely depth of field. But what we found with the GF 110mm f2, when we shot that wide open, the depth of field is millimeters. Yeah. And we found we were missing a few shots.
Back focus.
It was wrong eye. We focus on one eye, and when you get the picture on the computer, you've missed that focus point, and it's almost messed the image up. And obviously, if you've got a couple in the shot,
unless you're in the same,
unless you're in exactly the same focal plane, one of them's soft. So we found that we did have to stop that down a bit,
and which takes away from using that lens,
because you want f2, because you know that the background, especially at that sort of focal length, the background is just going to end up soft and lovely, mush, bokeh, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think it's not the camera's issue. It's just getting adapted to the camera, knowing that that's what's going to happen, being able to take your time to get that right. I think that's the problem. We're not saying it's the camera's issue.
But we were using a focus point, and we were focusing on the eye we wanted to focus on, but it wasn't. It was either
it's them moving.
It's either we recompose it slightly and that then knocks it off, or whether the focus points aren't that accurate at, because what were we 5 meters away, 10 meters away?
Yeah, quite a way away.
So we're using full sort of body. I mean, we're probably pushing it.
I think we both said at the end of it, the zoom lens, the 32-64, was probably the one we'd favour afterwards. And we found, obviously, because it was f4 as a minimum, you're going to get more in depth anyway. But that one seemed to be quite nice.
Yeah.
We were using the zoom to do the groups, when the groups got bigger or smaller. But I mean, the overall image quality, faultless. Can't really complain about that.
And the ability to take an image and crop in and still have enough resolution to print large, considering it's a crop in on the image. So you can take, like you say, take a wide angle of a group. If you wanted to, you could crop in right in. It's lovely.
But in the same breadth, the file sizes are gigantic. we exported out full size JPEGs at 50 meg each. And the RAWs on the XT2 are that. So delivering a set of images, if you can imagine shooting a wedding with one, you'd need quite a big USB stick. Use of it, it's ideal, isn't it?
I'd love one for commercial use.
Cool, yeah. They are good. I mean, when we had, obviously, probably one that was rattling around with Fuji, and the one they've sent to many people. We did have one error with it, which was it told us to turn the camera on and off.
Don't know why, but it did.
Yeah, I think that was the group shots that done that to us. So we did, and it kind of worked all right after that. We couldn't really get it to play with our flashes. We got the Godox ones, and I can't remember if we tried the Nissans on it.
Is that a leaf shutter in that?
Don't know.
No, it may be just because of firmware, but we just couldn't get it to work.
That was on or off camera flash.
No.
It was just not playing nicely with us, and we've got some issues with the Godox stuff anyway, and we need to sort out exactly, and we've got that kind of pending video to talk about that, but that could be user error more than camera error. But our whole entire experience wasn't. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think we were excited to get it. It is a beautiful camera, but I don't think the experience we were expecting wasn't. You know, we want one of those tomorrow. It was more like, this is a nice camera, but the cost
we can't
of it,
justify.
Yeah, for how we work, it just won't fit. But I think if you like to really slow down, and you know you take your time with weddings, and you know you'll set up a couple and spend an hour taking a couple of photographs, it will fit lovely into that, and you'll get some stunning images. But for us, I say we're very fast paced, and
I mean, like you say, fast paced, walking down the aisle, confetti shots. Unless you're going to take one image, I don't think the tracking and the speed will be enough.
And I think we moved to the XT2. We were Canon 5D Mark III users, and we moved to the XT2 to go smaller, to go lighter, quality better. You're almost going backwards a little bit with that if we would decide to then run with GFXs. They're big heavy cameras, and they are the same size as going back to big DSLRs. So for us, beautiful camera. If Fuji said here's one and you can have it, I wouldn't say no, and we'd use it for the commercial and the event sort of stuff, but not. I don't think it'd fit in our wedding flow that much. Maybe in like, I don't know, a year's time where we'd had a chance to really get used to the camera, then it might be a different type of review.
I think for when you take the couple away, as long as you can have a dedicated off-camera flash system that is reliable, I think it could be used for the couple shots where you've got that time to sort of prepare. But like you say, for our style of documentary shooting, it's not something we'd want in our bag at the moment.
What else did we find with it? I think that's it really. Like I say, it's more of a review of how we found it. We're not going to go crazy into this is it, because we don't have it anymore. It was a while
I'd love
ago.
to be able to have one here and say
it was a while ago we had it, and like I say, we were so busy during that period we never really managed to sit down and do this video then. This is kind of retrospective, and I suppose with a little bit more of an honest review now, because we've had time to reflect on it.
I think what we'll probably do now is we'll jump over to the computer and we'll get some images up from the wedding, and then we'll talk about those.
Show some crops.
Obviously a screenshot, have a screen capture of Lightroom. And we can show you some of the images that we did take, the dynamic range, obviously the resolution. And we can show you that.
And then we'll talk about we'll very quickly talk about using it with the model shot, and then we can do the same again after that and show you some images from that.
Or we'll split it down into 2 videos. Who knows? Okay, so we're now at the computer. We have a GFX file open here. This is, as you can see from the information, GFX 50s, using the 32 to 64mm f4R lens, and it was obviously wide open or fully wide at 32mm, and this was at f4.
So these are unedited images. This is as come out of camera. Just to show you that, if I hit reset, nothing changes. The camera calibration is still Adobe standard. This is in the new Lightroom Classic. But we mainly want to show you this just for output, just show you what the colours are straight out of. Obviously this is raw. We never really shoot JPEG, we always shoot RAW, so that's something we never really thought about doing, really, is seeing what the JPEG out of it will like. Yeah. But yeah, this is a zoom in, so this is f4. To be honest, I think that's incredibly sharp.
This is a 1-to-1 crop.
It's absolutely crazy.
You would have been focusing in on his eye.
Yeah, I would have been trying to hit about here. He's a subject that was closer to me. You can see it's slightly fallen off her, although her hair is in lovely. But just the detail here is just incredible, absolutely incredible. And let's say for an f4, it's just amazing. I mean, this is 400 ISO, so you can see with regards to any noise or anything. If we use this and just do a 3-to-1, you can see how crazy it is. And this has obviously had the minimal sharpening it has when it does the import. Standard Adobe sharpening, so yeah, we quite like that.
Let's just give it, go to the basic panel and just, you know, bring the shadows up. Let's show what we can get from that image. So
that's 100%.
That's obviously shadows. You'd never bring them up that far.
No. That's almost like HDR in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go back to a 1-to-1. Oh, 1-to-1. I mean, it still doesn't look bad, even if you do that. The files are amazing, absolutely amazing.
Contrast.
Let's bring that back down. I mean, these are just general edits, aren't they? Really. Sharpening wise for this, I don't really think that needs any, to be honest. But you can see it sharpening up. I mean, that's just crazy. You'd never go that far. Come back down.
But you're not getting the worm effect that you get on some of the X-T2 files.
I mean, when we take the sharpening off, you can see it has benefited from that import sharpening.
Yeah.
But still, that is really good, really good. So this is where we've done sort of the groups as well. I'll just choose a random photo. So these were taken at f8 with ISO 800. Obviously would be again more focused in here. This is again a hit reset. There is nothing done to these. These are straight out of camera. I think that's pretty good.
Very sharp.
Really sharp all the way across. All the way across. Yeah, nice.
So that, I mean, just closing that, stopping that down a bit to f8 is giving a lovely depth of field. So that's ideal for group shots.
Yeah. I mean, you could get away with that as well. I think if that's your kind of style. I think naturally the white balance is always a little bit on the red side with Fuji files, and I think you can see that evident across here.
But if you brought the exposure up and highlights down,
yeah, you could kill the highlights, bring exposure up a bit, or just utilise that shadows and bring them out a bit. So you brought the sky back, lovely. The dynamic range, as you can see, this was a bright day, and we're shooting into all this dark area. Lovely images, really nice, really nice. So let's find some of the 110mm, and just to sort of show you where we were having a bit of difficulty. So these images here, as you can see, it's the 110 shot at f2. Yeah, we could have said here we could have brought the ISO down a bit, but that's sometimes the fun of shooting so quickly.
But I think with such a zoom lens, you need a little bit more shutter speed anyway. It may be why these are blurred. We may have been some shake there, but
I mean, the general rule of thumb is obviously going over your millimetre length and making sure your shutter speed's faster or quicker than that. But
if because if
you can see here it's sharp. It seems to have focused here, doesn't it?
Zoom out and just see where the focus has actually hit. Has it hit on? Have you actually got focus at all on that one?
Doesn't look like it, does it? I mean, he's out. She's almost in, but it seems here it's a kind of sweet spot.
Because that may have been just a bit of camera shake on that one. Let's pick another one.
See, this looks sharper. But again, we know they're going to be out, and at f2, they're not naturally going to be both in focus anyway.
No.
So she's certainly sharp in that.
But what we're talking about is the depth of field. I mean,
and he's sharp here because obviously it's in the same focal plane as her.
See, ideally,
but the depth
we
of
should
field, look at it, look at that.
Ideally, we should have gone f4.
Yeah.
On that one.
Unless they had their heads, together, side by side, ear to ear, as such. But this is the whole point of what we were trying to do. We were trying to test to see what it was giving, and because it's a medium format size sensor, you're going to get a different depth of field out of it. At f2, it's more like an f1.2 or something like that. The calculations go backwards, don't they? But I mean, that is just lovely, isn't it? That is sharp.
Yeah.
And you can see it sharp here. So. Yeah, I mean we had good fun using it, and we got some good images out of it. Let's try some of these again with the f2. We up this at look, Instagram's loving us. We've got the f4 here, so I think we decided that we'd stop it down a bit, but you can see that one to me doesn't look like it's nailed focus at all. It's almost back.
That's back focus.
Back focus there, and I mean we're a long way away. We're across the water trying to get some images. That's better. That's a lot better. So you can see this is what we were saying with regards to trying to get the focus in that really quick turnaround that the beauty of shooting weddings gives you. And like I said, we'd learnt from the beginning that the f2 wasn't what we wanted. We needed to stop it down a bit. But I think looking at these and the quality of these, and then going back to, these type of images, and I think I overall preferred that zoom.
Yeah,
I think it was nice.
But earlier I was saying about the crop factor. So if we went to this image, let's say we crop this one in. Now that, even though we've cropped in, that's still a picture that can be used. And obviously if we now zoom in here, we're still sharp anyway, aren't we? Add a bit more of that sharpening back in. Let's give it some contrast. Highlights down a bit, shadows up. This is just a little play, obviously. We have a sort of similar style, editing style, don't we?
Yeah, we usually use the classic chrome.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't. If I was to click the camera calibration now, I could get classic chrome, which just sort of gives it a little bit of a muted-y look, and it gives it a bit more contrast. I don't know if we want to
play around with the a little bit of an edit on that.
And there's all sorts of different
different
edits you could do. Maybe warm it up just a little bit.
But yeah,
well, you get the idea.
The files are lovely, and when you nail it, you've got a beautiful image that you can play around with. It just looks lovely, and how zoomed in and how cropped in is that, and it still looks good. Not saying that you use it all the time for doing that kind of stuff, but the ability is there. Perhaps you've shot landscape and you actually wanted portrait, you could flip the image around and still get a decent size print out of it. So I think our next bet then is to go back, and we'll be looking to do one with the model images.